Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. I almost wanted to open singing the song, you know, the I Believe I Can Fly song, but I don't know. I just don't know if we can sing that anymore. Anyway, we're getting some miles in the Alphafly 3 this morning. One of the best shoes for mileage. Low key, I'm going to do a revisit, tell you why it's so awesome, take you through my long run. And if you are interested in long runs, if you're interested in the race shoes, if you're interested in running in general, you got to make sure you're on the Supwell app. It's my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. And it's also the best place to connect with other hobby joggers, shoot the stuff about training, ask for training optimizations, ask what the best race shoe is for you, ask what the best fueling system is. It's a place where we all come together, share our love of the game, and also pass along the best deals. So if you're looking for a shoe like this, you can often find it for $100 off of MSRP. Somebody might have one sitting in the box, so they put 1 or 2 runs on it. They want to get rid of it so they can let them get another shoe. They'll list it on the Supwell app. So get in with us and enjoy today's video. Where's Waldo? Can you find him? Bang. Nice job. Oh, would you look at that? Amazon. That was actually one of the first times Amazon ever let me down. It was just a book and an SD card, but they said it was supposed to be overnight delivery from Friday to Saturday morning, and it just never showed up. I kept checking the tracking, and then it showed up this morning. So Amazon first ever miss on the delivery status. And it's not like we need these things immediately, but if they say overnight delivery and then they don't do it, that's kind of questionable, right? Anyway, today we're running in the Alphafly 3. This is the Proto edition. This is a great shoe. It's just one of these mornings where I want to go out here and run and have an enjoyable run. I have the long run on the calendar, 20-mile long run. Yesterday I did the Murph workout. If you're not familiar with the Murph workout, it's a CrossFit style workout. It's dedicated to Lieutenant Michael Murphy, who is an American soldier who was killed in the line of action in Afghanistan. Apparently he used to do this workout every day, but it's a mile run. You're supposed to do it all out or close to that. Mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another mile. I did cheat style pull-ups. It's the whole point of it is just to do the best you can. I can't do a lot of pull-ups and push-ups right now because I've been focusing on mileage. But even with that, my chest and upper body has just exploded today. So here's the thing about running and stress in workouts. It doesn't matter if it's a lifting workout. It doesn't matter if it's a running workout. It's similar stress on the body, and your body is taking all the nutrients and energy to recover and repair. So I'm not in peak physical condition this morning. It's basically like the equivalent of running a hard 10K or a hard 5K, maybe a 90% effort 10K, because it was about an hour long. So yeah, I would say it's the equivalent of doing a 6-mile tempo at threshold pace and then coming out here and doing a long run. Now, of course, my legs aren't going to be as thrashed. Well, we'll see. But it's these little things, right? You don't realize how much you need your arm carriage when you're running, and then you also don't realize how much you stabilize with your core and your back, especially lower back for me. That's where I feel it. Whenever I'm beat up, it's like the center of the central nervous system, and the back and the core just work a lot of the body. So any day I'm not feeling that, that's usually where I can feel the pressure from the past few days. But Alphafly 3, reason I'm pulling this, I'm definitely not going to be going all out this morning. This is an all-out marathon style shoe, but it is also a really cushioned, great shoe for making it easier to run. And that's what I want this morning. I want something that's going to make it as easy as possible for me to run. This thing's got a ton of cushions. It's got some AirPods in the front, the carbon fiber plate. If you've watched this channel, you've heard me sing this thing's praises. I also just haven't run in the Alphafly this month. Yeah, I don't think it's May, so it's like I'm obligated to run in the Alphafly once a month. I absolutely love this thing. And we've also started to see some leaks of the Alphafly V4 coming out, and I know people are saying they're not showing the AirPod. Don't worry about that. Nike always does that. Whenever they're prototyping the Alphafly, they'll tape it up so you can't see what's inside. So the shoe that's been on Kipchoge's feet, that's definitely the Alphafly. And there's some big changes coming in that one. So you can see here, of course, you have the AirPod. That's one of the wacky design elements. And then you also have it cutting off in the back. But other than that, there's not a lot of weirdness going on with this shoe. The formula has been pretty much the same since the version 1, and this might even be the most approachable, least aggressive Alphafly, because in versions 1 and 2, the front and the back were not connected. They were disconnected. And in version 3 or version 4, what they're doing is the midfoot bump. So they're doing the trickeration where they're trying to get around the World Athletics 40 millimeters rule. If you look at this version here, there's no trickeration. You get the stack in the back, and then it tapers down in the front. It's that triangle shape. Would this be an isosceles triangle? What kind of triangle would this be? Traditional geometry in terms of less foam in the midfoot than the rear. The modern geometry, the trickeration geometry, the cheating, the complicit cheating geometry. That's not the right use of the word complicit. The cheating geometry, though, is getting more in the midfoot than the back, because the technical regulation for the World Athletics rule of elites cannot have more than 40 millimeters in their shoes, it states that you have to measure from 12.5% up from the rear. So as long as 12.5% up from the rear is below 40, you're good. In the middle, you can go up. Is that correct? I don't know. And this is going to be the shoe that gets the rules potentially changed, because Mizuno did it. Nobody really cares. Hoka just did it. Did anybody care? No, not really. Nobody cared in the Cielo 2.0. Now Nike's going to do it. Guess what? People are going to care. And this is the thing. When you're the New York Yankees or the New England Patriots or the Duke Blue Devils or Coca-Cola, when you do something, when you make a move, especially on the sports side, when you're LeBron James, when you're Tom Brady, and you make a move that's questionable or that can be called into question, people will question it. Deflategate. If the New York Jets back in 2013 were deflating footballs, would anybody have cared? No. No, people care because it's the Patriots. People care when LeBron makes a mistake. So I guarantee you this shoe is going to ruffle some feathers, the Alphafly 4, when it comes out, because Nike is now trying to bend the rules. When the big dogs try to bend the rules, that's when the regulators and the media and the criticism rains down and comes in. I guarantee you a lot of people out here who know nothing about the shoe tube culture and the work we've been putting in, a lot of these journalists are going to be talking about 40 millimeter stack regulations when the Alphafly 4 comes out. Yeah, I really do think that it's potentially going to get the rules changed. And it's interesting because there's two different frontiers when it comes to the race shoe innovation right now. You either have the weight getting shaved down. So a lot of these new shoes, like the Asics shoes, are coming in below 150, 160 grams in my size. Or you have adding the more foam for the bounce. The Alphafly is a more foam and more bounce type of shoe. So it makes sense that they're going that direction. I'm interested to see what they do with it and how it changes it. But for now, this one is pretty gosh dang perfect. One of my favorite shoes, consistently a top 5 shoe in our rankings, and probably the most popular marathon race shoe. I don't have any sales data for that. I would have to ask Running Warehouse. That'd actually be interesting. I could shoot them an email to ask, but I'm guessing this is the best-selling marathon shoe out there. And if you just look at marathons in your area, especially the majors, if you look at the major marathons, bro, it is stacked with Alphafly. So consistent top seller and a great performer. This guy has 160 miles on it. This is actually my older pair. I'm going to go with this pair because I don't need, if I'm doing a big threshold workout or something, I would have gone with the threshold or the new pair, but today I just want the cushion and the bounce. That's one of the great things about this as well. Even when the peak performance starts degrading, we're still going to get all that cushion and protection underfoot. So with that, let's lace this thing up. Oh, we got the slugs out here putting in work. We got to let them know. Got to be the most legendary shoe colorway of all time. The white, black, and orange. It's just classic. This Nike orange is so classic. Again, it's like the New England Patriots, the New York Yankees. When you see that NY on a navy blue hat, you feel something. When you see that bright red on a soda can, you know exactly what that is without even seeing the script. It's the same thing. When you see the white with a big black swoosh painted on the side and some orange accents, you know exactly what you're going to get. This doesn't just look great. It makes you feel something. And that's what the best shoes do. They're emotional. They get you emotional. They get you fired up. And the Alphafly is certainly an emotional shoe. People have an emotional connection to this thing. It's even in the name, Alpha. Makes you feel something. Also makes you hear something with the AirPods squeaking. Yeah, this upper is great. Looks fantastic. I usually do a walk test, but I've put plenty of miles on this thing. Plan for this morning, 20 miles. I'm going to warm up into it, just see what pace comes. I'm not feeling 100% today just from the workout yesterday. My legs will probably feel okay, but we'll warm up into it, and then I actually have to do my community challenge workout still. So get about 45 minutes of warm up and then take this big hill to do some repeats for the community challenge. Let us do this thing. Oh man, I'm having technical difficulties this morning. So this is what I would usually take. I've been on and off with taking it, but this has the water bottle, and then I opened it this morning because I was going to rinse it out, and the water bottle had all black, disgusting mold in it because I didn't wash it. So that's on me. That's 100% on me. And then I got this other bottle I was just going to leave in the mailbox. One of these Ninja smoothie bottles, and this thing is cracked. Look at that. Cracked all the way from up here down here. So this was leaking on the stairs right there, and now it's leaking here. So I'm just going to see how much water we can retain out of this. Put this at the mailbox because I'm not going back in the kitchen. It's just one of those mornings where we have what we have. We're not going to go back. We're outside now. It's actually a beautiful morning. It's about 60 American. It's a great running weather. I can feel it heating up though. And we're starting to get some blue skies. Let's go. I guess I'll leave these in here. This is the whole thing with the gel. So I'm doing the 2xU. That's what they told me these are called, 2xU shorts. I've actually really liked these ones so far because they have side pockets. It's rare where you get side pockets and you get all the gel pockets. So these have gel pockets in the back, and you have the regular pockets for your phone and keys. I find often it's either one or the other, because they're either designed to be performance shorts, so they have the gel pockets, and then they don't have the side pockets because they don't think you're going to use them for casual. Our supple shorts, we just have the side pockets as well, because it's more of a dad drip that you can run in. That's pretty fire. Tying these shorts up and then we can go. Alright, let's do this thing. I'll wait for GPS. Apparently waiting is supposed to make it more accurate. So we'll wait. Oh man, yeah, it's my shoulders, my lats. You never realize how much you use your arms running until your upper body is sore. I always forget how loud these are. Mile 1, 7:51. I discovered this offshoot yesterday. Well, I've driven through here hundreds of times, but just never thought to add it to my run. And Mason and I walked here. It's about a mile from my house. And there's a little gazebo. I actually don't know what you'd call it. A bus stop? Seating area? Look at that, it's kind of nice. We sat there and we played tic-tac-toe. And she beat me 3 times. We played probably 12 times. I won the first game. Then I was getting sloppy. She won the next 2. We tied a bunch. And then she won again. She's overtaken me. That's the thing about tic-tac-toe. It's just a game of not making mistakes. You can basically tie every time if you play it perfectly. But if you make a mistake and the other player is smart, you lose. Mile 2, 7:08. Do, 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 do. Mary Jane. You know that song? Rick James. And somebody described these to me a few weeks ago as running downhill. And I haven't stopped thinking about it. Every time I think about the shoe sense, and it's so accurate. Like once you get these things going, it's hard to slow down. I'm just moving. They have a mind of their own. And mile 3, 6:53. Moving. Probably won't be moving like this after the workout portion, but
We'll take it. Man, if I weren't testing stuff, I might just do every long run in these. Just a perfect long run shoe. There are other shoes that are faster, lighter, more aggressive, but none that have the speed assistance and the cushion that make me just want to lock in and go. Like this one. So I've been doing some strides here, more marathon pace surges than strides. I feel so efficient in these. It feels so easy for me to lock into marathon pace mechanics in these with the pop and how bouncy they are. I honestly feel better in these than I did in the Pro Evo 1 a few days ago, the $500 shoe. When I did the speed test a few weeks ago, these didn't come out on top. But I think it's because it's a weird shoe. I was holding myself back in a sense when I was running in these because I was trying to hit a 6 flat. Like I was saying earlier, they just get going and take me. So these hill workouts are more about building strength than speed. So I'm okay with coming into it a little fatigued. The thing is, if you're more tired, it'll recruit different muscle fibers in your legs, which is never a bad thing. It's similar to running hard at the end of a long run. You'll activate different muscles than normal. So about a mile more warm up here, and then we'll hit it. I just saw a can of Ozium on the ground. TBT. Takes me back for sure. I just feel like the big bad wolf when I'm wearing the Alphaflys. Huff and puff and knock some mileage down. Running through the streets in my Nikes. Gosh dang, I know they don't like me. 20 on a Sunday. I ain't talking about overpriced ice cream. Alright, we're about to start the workout right here. Let's do it. That was absolutely brutal. 2 minutes 59 seconds. What's messed up about this hill too, there's a long gradual slope, spits you out on a flat, so then you get hope, and then the last steep incline here is where you get broke. Yeah, this part just destroys you. So running these by effort, see if I can hang on to that effort the entire time. Man, if anyone wants a 2-door JL with 35s and a 3-inch lift, there you go. Oh, that's not even a JK, that's a TJ. I said JL, that's what I have. All right, I'm finished. I had to ditch the GoPro. I just can't run fast with this thing. Anything faster than marathon pace or harder than marathon effort, can't really run with the GoPro. And we don't have a fancy film crew out here in Mint Hill. This ain't Mint Hollywood. So you're just gonna have to listen to my reenactment or description. But yeah, that was 8x800 at 10K to half marathon effort. I was really focused today on snapping my legs off the ground quickly. I just felt like on my last marathon pace workout, I was getting sloppy, and reviewing the data, it showed that my efficiency just really degraded towards the end. So I was focusing on running upright, kicking with good posture, and feeling light, lean, and mean. There was only one rep where I didn't feel great, and my house is actually just right up that hill, so I took a break after the 4th rep to grab water and use the bathroom. And on the 5th rep coming back up, I was just not focused. So that was really the only one not great spot in the workout, but that was a really solid workout. I'll review the splits after, but I think most of them I was around 5:30 pace, which is faster than marathon pace up this huge hill. You're biking in Vivo barefoot shoes. Benefit of that workout too, 8 by 800 with 800 recovery. That's a gosh dang 8 miles of volume right there. So we're already at mile 16. We just got to close it out. And that's 4 miles at faster than marathon pace. So there we go. Mileage train rolling. I was worried my back was going to feel achy and weak when pushing hard, because that's what I've been feeling it recently. Anytime where I'm not recovered, just can't get the legs moving with power. Again, it's generating a lot of the power that we're generating. Yes, it's our legs, but it's coming from our core. So it's my lower back and my core. I just feel weak when I'm not recovered, but I've been staying on top of the fuel and it's really made a difference. I felt surprisingly strong on that workout. I fell asleep on the couch. I finished rereading Fitz. I was reading Fitz last night on the couch, fell asleep at 8:30 or something. And I woke up at 9 and I slammed another probably 600 calories. Just really been trying to stay on top of it, and it is working. Alphaflies are like the American flag. You know what I mean? I spoke too soon. I'm hurting. I'm hurting on these last few miles. Oh, it's just a cool down, 8:30 pace. But I'm hurting. It's never easy.
Woo! Working. Let's go. Let's save. Save on the Garmin. Oh gosh. Oh, that was one of the most difficult sit downs in a long time. That took some effort. I'll give that a 6. 6 out of 10 hard. There's effort. I felt strong. I didn't feel too strong in the last few miles there, but overall, that was a solid run. And just good execution. That's basically all I'm hoping to do. And there we go. We got our longest run trophy again. That really was the longest run that I've used with this thing now. Fastest 10K, no, it wasn't. Probably have to accept these in the app. I don't want to accept anything in the app. Yeah, 21 miles, 7:26 pace, 2 hours, 36 minutes, 17 seconds. Oh man, that's another over duration long run, meaning a long run took longer than what I could run a marathon in, or what I'm trying to run a marathon in. So we're out there for quite some time. I realized I had 79.5 miles on the week, so I had to get at least 20 and a half. And then once I was at 20 and a half, I wasn't going to stop there. So got 21. But these things are a beaut. These are a beaut. These are a beauty, kid. Hey? That's what the hockey kids used to say in high school. Beauty. Here's a dinger. Bar down, hey? Yeah, for coming out here, stacking mileage with some faster pace, these were awesome. And all I wanted today was to execute well. And I think I did even better than I was anticipating. I was able to grip and rip off the front here, really focused on driving with a lighter touch, because I just felt like on my last workout, my mechanics were degrading and I was slipping back into a sloppier style of running, and that's why I didn't hit my pace. So I'm hoping today we've reinforced strong running mechanics, especially on the hills, running with good posture, upright, getting the arms pumping. And I told you, I put the GoPro down. If you run with a bottle, if you run with anything on your back, doing any of these faster workouts where we're really focused on running economy and strength, it's good to put all that stuff down. Even if you run with a phone, for example, too, just put it down at the park or somewhere along the route that you know is safe, so you can focus on engaging your body. Because sometimes when you have the stuff in your hands or even in your pockets, it can throw you off and be imbalanced. And I ran the first 2 or 3 reps out there with the GoPro, and I put it down, and then it made such a big difference. So strong workout. I'm feeling it for sure. I'm going to need some serious recovery after the Murph yesterday and then the 21 miler today, but we made it through the gauntlet. That's 101 miles on the week, or at least 100.5. Bang. Hold on. One thing that is cool, look at this. So this is the heart rate graph. The heart rate tracking was accurate today. So you can see, well, you can either see it in the heart rate graph or on the power graph. But on those hill reps, you can just see it spike anytime where, I don't know why it spiked so high right there. That something was weird was going on, but you can see it just spikes anytime we're exerting effort on the hill. So it's just a cool way to track your effort, either the heart rate graph or the running power graph. And of course the elevation graph too. Ooh, we got 1,096 feet up. That is a burner. The arms don't feel as bad as yesterday, man. When I was setting up the camera yesterday, that was tough. And usually DOMs will get you on the second day. It's triggered today. The DOMs is triggered. Yeah, I don't know. It's lats, shoulders, biceps. This is from the Murph workout yesterday. I just did the best I could. The thing is, once you push to failure, you're gonna have the DOMs. But that was yesterday. Today, all about the mileage. Bang! I mean, look at that thing. Alphafly 3 in all its glory. This is one of the most photogenic shoes too, especially in this proto pack. It just looks so good with the black swoosh coming down and the orange. I'm a sucker for this design. And it's funny because I was talking about a few weeks ago how I don't think I could ever race in an Alphafly, because racing in an Alphafly, to me, it still is like showing up on the start line and saying I think I'm better than everybody else. It's in the name. Alpha. What is an alpha male? An alpha male is someone who's bigger, faster, stronger, more powerful, more important, and more respected than everyone else. Showing up in this thing is like saying you think you're bigger, faster, and stronger than everyone else. And I guess maybe that's what you want to do on race day, but there is also an element to it. I think this is the other side where, in a way, even the flashiest race shoe that you could think of, something like the Mizuno Wave Rebellion 3 with the zebra design, that's probably one of the flashier ones out there, or the Puma Fast R3 with the neon pink and blue, or I guess it has more of a pastel tone, but still bright colors with the plate sticking out. Those are flashy as well. You could look at any brand, even New Balance SC Elite V4, when that dropped, it looked decently flashy with the lime green and the neon orange. But there's a status symbol element to the Alphafly. People know what Nike is, right? Walking around with the New York Yankees hat on is not the same thing as walking around with a Cleveland Guardians hat on, right? Yankees, Guardians. So that's my thing about the Alphafly when it comes to it's like the Range Rover. And I talked about this and people are saying, what's wrong with the Range Rover? A Range Rover is a status symbol. There is nothing about that car that is superior that makes people want to buy it, other than the fact that it shows that you have money. That's why I would never drive a Range Rover. You could drive a Range Rover if you wanted. And that's exactly why Jaguar Land Rover came out with the Defender. But that's now also become a status symbol. Anyway, we're not talking cars today. I'll save it for the Supwall Cars podcast coming 2027. Supwall Music podcast coming 2026. I've also been thinking about doing my top 5 albums of the year so far soon, because it's May? It's almost June. We're almost halfway through the year. So we got to give the top 5 list. But we're not talking music and we're not talking cars. We're talking shoes. Let's throw up the run for today. 21 miles. I was actually feeling a lot better this morning. On this warm-up, I was cruising 7 flat, 653, and it is perfect weather out here today. It's actually a bit cooler than it has been over the past few days. It's about 72 American. I'm trying to remember what that is European. I've been getting my conversions down. It's about 20, low 20s European, maybe even high teens. That's the zone this is, and it's not super sunny. We had some blue skies earlier for the run, but it closed up. So this is perfect running weather, and I felt a lot better this morning than I thought I was going to, and I think it helped because I also went to bed earlier last night. Charlie was in bed around 8:30 or something, then I went to bed around 9:30 and slept till around 6. My Garmin said I had not great sleep. It said I only got 6 hours. I haven't been able to get over an 81 sleep score with this thing yet, and I think the last 2 nights I was in the 70s and maybe even 60s. So my goal today is to get an 85 tonight. I want an 85 sleep score, but actually I'm guessing Charlie and I are going to watch TV. So if I can get another 81, I'll be happy with that. But I felt okay this morning, recharged the batteries from that tough workout yesterday, and thankfully that Murph workout doesn't have a lot of damage done to the legs. It's mostly upper body. I mean, if you do the weighted vest style and do 300 air squats, that'll get you, but 300 air squats for me, that's not going to put a whole lot of a burden plus those 2 miles. So legs were okay, and then the last tough workout I did was Thursday, the 10-mile tempo, and I recovered from that really well too. And I think I just recover better from threshold pace and marathon pace than I do from faster stuff, and I've really learned that this year, man. Anytime I'm doing the 5K pace or 1 mile, I'm just getting trashed versus I feel like I didn't even do a workout this week coming into today. So it's good to be able to know yourself and know what types of workouts leave you feeling worse. For example, for me, I can run 2.5, 3 hours. I can even run up to, I did a 30-mile long run when I was training for an ultra at around a 7 flat pace. I think it was 6:57 pace or something. And I trained through that. I felt okay. So moderate paced running for up to 3.5, 4 hours, I can recover from that versus doing faster, shorter stuff. I just get smoked. So it's about body types, genetics, but also nutrition, diet, recovery, making sure you're putting in the right thing. That'll help speed up recovery. But yeah, I didn't feel as bad as I thought I was going to this morning. And getting into that workout, I came in 650 starting off and then started hitting the hill around 550, 530 pace. And I'm actually really pleasantly surprised and happy with how this went because it was just execution. I felt good and I kept the mustard on the dog and I stayed focused. This was more so a mental workout than anything. It was never physically challenging. It wasn't as physically challenging as any of the other workouts I've done recently, especially because these working reps are just about 3 minutes. So I was hitting them in around 255, 253. Works out to about a 540 or 530 pace up this hill. But it takes a lot of focus, and I didn't have the Morton caffeine or any caffeine. I just didn't want to do a caffeine gel on the run today because I've been noticing with the caffeine gels, just later in the day on my long runs, my brain just feels so foggy, especially if I'm going longer. So, and also the mayor was out here cutting his grass, so I actually got to eat my lunch before we came out here and did this breakdown. The kids and Charles are at the botanical garden, so that will help with recovery too. And I feel much better now than if I had done the caffeine gel. But what the caffeine gel can help with, especially on the bigger, more important workouts, this was not one of my bigger or more important workouts. It's important because it's the community challenge, but it's a bonus workout for me because I'm following the Daniels plan right now, and there's about 1 or 2 workouts per week, and this was just extra. So I was able to get this one and yesterday. Those were both extra. That's exactly why I chose this marathon training plan that I'm in right now, because it's 18 weeks long and it gives me more flexibility. But on the bigger workouts, I do like having the caffeine. Like a few days ago when I did that tempo, it just helps with focus. And studies have shown, I was reading in the Fitz book, studies have shown that having the caffeine, it can improve your performance because you're more focused, and the other bonus is your pain tolerance is higher. You don't feel as much pain when you're taking the caffeine. But I didn't need the performance boost today. I did take 3 gels, non-caffeinated, around I think mile 5, 9, and 14, something like that. And that just helps with the recovery. Again, you don't need it, but it makes it a lot easier. And yeah, it was just nice to come out here, move the legs, get them popping. And this was a really nice shoe for that. So for the style of workout we were doing this morning, 800 repeats at 10K to half marathon pace up the hill, I was really focusing on popping off the front here, and these AirPods made it such an easy run. Again, it's never easy to run, but it made me accomplish the purpose of the workout really well, because with a workout like this, for me, it's running economy. I want to get faster at marathon pace, and it's also strength. A lot of people are not doing 3-minute hard surges up the hill. That's what this is. And with the strength that we have built up through this community challenge, and with the strength that I have built up just running hills a lot, I now can attack these hills at a decent clip. And there's different styles of running. You can attack a hill with a higher stride, open up the stride. You can attack a hill with a higher cadence. And for me, I really want to be focusing on feeling light and mean, upping that cadence, because for me, that's my one area of weakness. I've noticed that when the cadence starts to slip and my mechanics start to fall apart, that's when the pace is slipping as well. So it's not necessarily cadence training, it's just focusing on the right type of form. Maybe it's cadence training, actually. I think he was rocking the wind flows today. Yeah, what I've noticed though is when I run with strength, it's kicking the legs in a certain way, being upright. And for me, sometimes, again, it's not necessarily the actual cadence that I am running at, but it's what happens when I run at a lower cadence. It means my range of motion isn't as good. It means I'm landing in the ground in a sloppier way. It also means my ground contact time is higher. Those things work in opposites, right? The higher your cadence is, the lower your ground contact time will be. And for me, I need to be popping those legs off the ground. To get down to this 540 pace, I need to be comfortable running at a quicker clip. So that's what I was focused on this morning. This was a really nice shoe for that. And in terms of what the Alphafly does that other shoes don't do, every time I put this on, I'm just so surprised as we get 90 minutes, 2 hours into a run, how good this shoe feels and how easy it makes it to keep running. The formula here is perfect. The ZoomX foam with the AirPod, with the carbon fiber plate, it dead ends all the impact from the ground. It's just as protective as a Glycerin Max or a Mag Max or a Super Blast, but it is so bouncy and a very lightweight shoe. The one thing that they can improve with this in the Alphafly 4, and I know we were talking about this earlier, and they're going with the midfoot bump, but I actually think the one thing they can improve in this is the weight. If they got this down to that 150 to 160 gram range that a lot of the new shoes are going to, that the Pro Evo 2 and the Metaspeed Ray, which is not that much more expensive than this. The Metaspeed Ray is going to be only $15 more expensive than this, and I'm guessing the Alphafly 4, regardless of how much it weighs, is going to come in at $300 anyway, because brands are increasing their prices. But if they could get this down to the Metaspeed Ray weight, man, this would be far and away the best race shoe out there. It already is the best marathon shoe out there, because the cushion, the protection, how much stack you get, it just outweighs any of the potential weaknesses. And it's not a heavy shoe by any means. I don't feel the weight on foot, but it just does feel like a big shoe. And that is the downside of this. If you're going to compare it to a Streak Fly or even the Vaporfly or something in another brand's lineup like the Metaspeed Sky Paris, it does not feel very streamlined. It feels like a gigantic shoe. It really feels like so much shoe on foot. Just look at it. Your foot is sitting up on top of a lot of stack. But I love that, and especially for a run like this morning, 21 miles, I only had to go 20.5, and I said, why not just get 21? So this is Max Cushion Gang for sure, Supwell certified for sure, one of the best race shoes out there. I just like revisiting the shoes and running in the shoes that I like. I like this shoe so much that I have 2 pairs of it, and this does not disappoint. It's really hard to have a bad run in this thing, and even if we throw out these splits again, even running at the end, 8:30 pace, it's much easier running an 8:30 pace in this thing than it is in whatever other shoe you could run in. Yeah, Evo SL, I was in that. That's the thing, right? I actually was doing some recovery mileage in the Evo SL earlier this week because I was running around the neighborhood with Mace. Shoes like that, a lot of the speed training shoes, they just don't feel as good at the slower paces because they're such just purpose-built shoes for speed. This has a lot of range. I said this the last time I ran this shoe when I did the 250 kilometer review. you could use this as a recovery run shoe. It really feels protective. It has all the benefits of those max cushion shoes like the Mag Max and all those other ones. Now, it does force me to pick up, not force me, but encourage me to pick up the pace. And of course, this is a $300 race shoe, so I'm not saying go out and get this as a recovery running shoe. But if you have an older pair that's dying, why not take it out for some fun, faster daily miles? Right? I'm not going to advise you to go take this out for your 30-minute jogs with the dog around the neighborhood, or you might end up on one of those meme pages. But if you have some Alphafly mileage to spare, you could use it as a fun daily trainer, similar to how a lot of people use those Zone 3 type shoes like the Evo SL. So still a complete banger. I'm really excited to see what they do with the Alphafly 4. I'm guessing that's coming later this year because this came December 2022. Yeah, now it is March 2020. Sorry, December 2023. And now it's March 2025. So they're on a 2-year release cycle. They do every other year. Or maybe this, I guess media will probably get this, not me. Other media and testing and trickling out, I'm guessing will start to come at the end of this year. Probably they'll debut it before TRE, and then the big bang will come at the beginning of next year, and it'll be widely available probably maybe even a year from now is when you'll be able to get it, because of course this is going to sell out immediately. But this has been on the market for 18 months now. You could buy it anywhere, and it is really such a solid shoe. So big thumbs up. Maybe I will have to race in an Alphafly, right? Maybe I'll have to get over my own weirdness with thinking this is the Range Rover of running shoes. It really is the Range Rover of running shoes. But the thing is, if it's the Range Rover of running shoes and then everyone else also has it, I guess it's not the Range Rover. Maybe it's the Tesla. That might be a better one, because everyone has the Teslas now. Everyone has, even my neighbor Justin, who took me to the CrossFit Murph, he has a Tesla. But it does say a certain thing. If you drive a Tesla, who am I to say? You know the Tesla people, they just love the environment. All right, that is all I have for you today. Get the mileage. That was a fun workout. Mileage degenerate status. I hope everyone's been enjoying the community challenge. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. So we got one more workout. It's going to be a burner. So I hope you haven't been cutting corners. Yeah, I really hope everyone out there has not been cutting corners on the community challenge workout. All right, that's all I have for you today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I believe Alphafly. I believe Alphafly. I believe it makes the miles go by. No matter what other workouts I do, for the mileage my love is true. I believe in Alphafly. I believe it makes the miles go high. So I already did my refuel because the mare was cutting his grass, like I mentioned, but this just showed up, and it has something in it that I've been wanting to try. And I'm guessing if you are in the running algorithm and you follow running people on Instagram, you've likely seen this being advertised. Oh gosh. It's not even the blade's fault. That's just my fault. Bada boom. Oh, this is a new book. I'm going to check out, The Norwegian Method, but bada bang. Element has been going hard promoting this new lemonade salt for the summer, so I wanted to give it a try. This is some free promo right here. It's crazy. I really want to stop doing this because Element doesn't pay me, but here's the thing. I tell you, I buy it with my money, and then I tell you if it's fire or not. I love Element. What is it? Watermelon salt and raspberry salt are my favorite flavors. I typically don't like lemon lime stuff, and this is the funny thing, right? If this were just a lemon flavor, it's not good. I would associate it with being trash, but because it's lemonade, that's fire. How does that work, right? Lemon salt, ugh. Lemonade salt, yuck. That's the Pusha T, yuck. Yeah, lemon, nah. Lemonade, bang. All right, let's fill this thing up and check. All right, bang, here we go. We got the Slug Life water bottle and everything. Yeah, this was supposed to be part of the spring drop, but I learned the week before we launched everything that they weren't able to make these bottles anymore, which was just super sad. But yeah, this is now my electrolyte bottle. All right, one shake. Everybody knows the rules. Oh, man. Oh, that's the DOMs on the shaking. Oh, gosh, I can barely shake the element. All right, this is the real moment of truth here. Cheers, mate. Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. It tastes exactly as advertised. It does taste like lemonade salt, but maybe my ratio is too weak, but it's just not as strong and flavorful as the other flavors I like. It's not as flavorful as the raspberry salt and watermelon salt. So maybe this one you want to go with closer to 20 ounces of water versus the 32. It's still good. And I know for some people, element is too strong. Like the raspberry and the watermelon, the flavors would be too overpowering. This is not going to overpower you. Definitely more crushable. And look at that. I just put back about 10 ounces in 3 seconds. So that's a good rate of hydration right there. So this is solid for sure. I think we're going to need some more testing to get the final review and final verdict. But as of now, this is maybe it can crack the top 5, and maybe even top 3. But those top 2 slots are locked. Raspberry salt, watermelon salt, and then it's not even really a competition after that. So I would say this is a contender for 3rd or 4th if we're talking power rankings. Oh, wow. They're headquartered in Bozeman, Montana. Who would have thought? All right, and then coffee for this afternoon. I showed this a few weeks back, but I haven't given it a shout out in a while. It's the thermal shock process. This tastes like the adult Jolly Ranchers. So good. The Wilton Benetes from Black and White Coffee Roasters. Highly recommend this if you're looking for a new fruity sipper. It's a banger. So one more thing on the shoes. I know a lot of people are going to be wondering, Puma Fast R3, what about the Alphafly 3 versus this? And I do want to do a head-to-head, but this is just so aggressive. Same thing as the Metaspeed Sky Paris. It's these types of shoes just, they force you to run so aggressively versus the Alphafly. I can hang back and it's way more of a comfortable ride, especially now that it's broken in. That's the key difference between the Fast R and the Metaspeed Sky Paris and the Alphafly. Just a much better marathon shoe. And the other one that is neck and neck with the Alphafly would be this thing. You get more propulsion from the Alphafly, but this is really close. They're 1 and 2 when it comes to the marathon. I think the Deviate Nitro 3 might take it for the faster paces, and the Alphafly takes it for distance and for the marathon. Just those AirPods do not bottom out whatsoever. So if I had to go 10K, it would probably be Deviate Nitro, half and below Deviate Nitro, then Alphafly is half and above.